Hey guys, welcome back everyone. Okay, so yesterday we have discussed right here. So my paint file is not working right now. That's previous one. So anyways, I will upload this paint file on the Google Drive. You can download from there. But this is not working right. I cannot open this file. I don't know why. So this is not valid with my file. But I can open in the as a picture, right? But I cannot open in the note paint file. I don't know why. Let me check over here. Save it. Please, it's not allowed to open it. Okay, that's not a big deal. So what we have discussed yesterday, right? So we have discussed that subnetting, all right, this is a way that you can reduce the wastage of IP addresses. We have discussed that we have two types of subnetting. One we call as a FLSM, that's called as a fixed length subnet mask, and second is called as a VLSM, right? That's called as a variable length subnet mask. So in the FLSM, we have discussed that's right. So guys, please be on mute. Right, so FLSM we have discussed that, right? In a FLSM we have all they have a same number of room, right? Room number 1, room number 2, and room number 3, same size of room, right? And in VLSM we have discussed that we have a different size of room. So maybe the first room will be big, second room will be small, and third room will be small. And in the second floor maybe you have a small rooms, right? So in a VLSM we have a different subnet mask information, right? Or we can call as a different CIDR value. Whereas if I talk about the FLSM, right, FLSM has a fixed size of subnet mask information, right? So in FLSM, what happened? You will have for example, you have a 20 host IP address in the first subnet, 20 host IP address in the second subnet, and 20 host IP address in the third subnet as well. But in the case of VLSM, what happened? You will have in a first subnet, you will have a 20 subnet. Maybe in the second, you will have a 40. And maybe in the third, you will have 8. So you have a different size of host range over there in the VLSM. But in the FLSM, we have a fixed size of range. Then after that, we have seen the one of the subnetting questions that we have discussed, right? So take example 191.160/24 we have, and we had a requirement of the 20 host, right? Subnet mask for this guys are 255.250.0. And let me write on the table first of all. 0 is equal to 1, 1 is equal to 2, 2 is equal to 4, 3 is equal to 8, 4 is equal to what we call 16, 5 is equal to 32, 6 is equal to what we call okay 64, and 7 is equal to 128, right? 8 is equal to 256, and 9 is equal to what we call 5112, and 10 is equal to I call this rather 1024. So yesterday we have seen that we have a 20 host requirement. So first step, I told you that you need to write on the details of the network. So for example, 192 binding will be 111.0.0.0.0.0. I'm just recapping it, nothing else, right? So 0, 0, and then 168 will be binding will be 101. That's 32, and then 0, and then 1, 0, 0, 0. Right? Then after that we have 3 through 5, 8, right? And then we have the subnet binary of the 1 will be 0, 0, 0, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 4, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Then after that we have a subnet mask binary if I talk about. So this is the binary of the 192.168.1.0. The binary of the subnet mask will be, right? Done, done, and this is 0. This is the subnet mask binary, right? We can call as a CIDR is a classless interdomain routing just /24. Very good. Now after that, what I told you that you need to find the right? Bit number. What is the requirement we have? So now requirement the 20 hosts. So 20 host comes in the 5 bits, right? The formula to find the host is what? 2 or n minus 2, right? So where the 2 represent broadcast ID and network ID, right? N is a number. So if I say the 2 power of 5 minus 2 is equal to 32 minus 2 is equal to 30 host we have, right? So if you guys remember that, right? I told you this part as well. So in a one subnet, or we can say that in a one network, or we can say the broadcast domain. Guys, please be on the time, right? Broadcast domain, we have three things. The first, we have a host IP addresses, right? That's you are going to allocate to the PC, router, printer, etc. Then we have a router, sorry, not router, network ID. That's a first IP address of subnet, but you cannot allocate to the any guy, right? And then we have a broadcast ID. That's a last IP address of subnet. Again, you're not going to allocate to this guy. So this two things you are not going to allocate to the any person. Only you are going to allocate to the host IP address. This the two things you are not going to allocate to the any guy, any device. Now, so in this case, what happened? That's my step number 2. This is my step number 1, right? Step number 1, write down the details. Step number 2, find the host. Step number 3, right? Convert the 5 bits, not convert, leave the 5 bits as a host and convert the remaining bit into networks, right? So if you see that, this is my default subnet mask information, right? That's my default one. And what we have to do now, we just need to convert the only 3 bits, because this 5 bits, right, are gonna leave for the host person. So if you see right now, I'm gonna it is this guy. I'm gonna remove this person. We need to convert into the ones. Let me go to black. Hold on. Okay, right. And the value of this guy will be, it should be the 128, it should be the 64, and this guy will be 32. So if you're gonna add it, it will become the 224. So the new subnet mask will be what? The new subnet mask will be 255.255.254, right? So this is the old subnet mask information. This is the new subnet mask information. And what will be the CIDR value now? So CIDR value will be, it's /27. So now if you're gonna add the 28 bit plus 8 bit plus 8 bit 24 plus 3, 24 plus 3 is 27, right? So now if you see that we have a 30 host, right? And this is my new subnet mask information. So requirement was 20 hosts, right? Now I have a 30 host in my one network. Step number 4 was the find the magic number, or we can call as a increment number as well. So what will be the increment number? So the last value of the right hand side. So this will become the increment number. So 60, see if you see that this is the 128, this is the 64, and this is 32. So this value, right? The bit of this value will become the increment number. So increment number is 32, or we can call as a magic number is 32. Now step number 5, what? Find the network bits, or we can say find the network portion. How many networks are there now in this subnetting? So if you see the formula for this guys are 2 to the power n is equal to 2 to the power 3, right? Because 3 bits we have converted, right? So default was this one, and we just converted the 3 bits over there. So 2 to the power 3 is equal to 8. So total we have 8 networks over there. So what you understand from this thing? So we had this subnet, right? 192.168.1.0/24. This was the older one. We did the subnetting now. After the subnetting, what we have found? We have found the 8 networks in this one. So previously it was a single network. Now we have 8 network. So we have break down the big size room into the 8 different room. We have break down the big room into the small rooms now. So 1 network, 2nd network, 3rd network, 4th network, 5 network, 6 network, 7 network, 8 network. So now, whatever the IP addresses are present in this network, they cannot communicate with this guy by default. Because now they are not a part of the same network. They are the part of the different broadcast domain. We did the practical yesterday, right? And now we need to, step number 6 is what? We need to write down the, step number 6, write down the blocks. Right? So let's write on. So let me make a space for me. Okay. So that's my step number 6. So the first network ID, right? Let me write on the first, what was my older one? The 192.168.1.0/24. This is my older one, right? If you guys remember that. So big subnet. Let me take a big, this guy. I'll make it 36. Okay. A big broadcast domain, we can call it as well. Right. Okay. Now, what we have to do, now we need to divide it, right? So the first network ID, let me go with the small size. First network ID. So total we have 8 network, right? Remember, 8 networks we have. The first network ID will be what? It's a 192.168.1.0/27. That's my the 70 masking function. This is called the first network ID. The first IP address will be what? 1.1/27 will be the first IP address. 192.168.1.30 will be the last IP address of the subnet. 192.168.1.31 will be the broadcast IP. Or we can the broadcast ID as well. Then we have a second network ID now. Second network ID, we have a 32, right? Then we have a last IP, and this should be the what? Let me write on the blocks first of all. The first will be 0, then 32, then 64, then 96. After that, add it. If you're going to add the 96 plus 32, it will become a 128. And if you're going to add the 128 plus 32, it will become the 160. If you're going to add the 160 plus 32, it will become 192. And if you're going to add the 192 plus 32, it will give the 224. And then last one is a 256. That will be the broadcast, right? So it will be the last. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So last will be the, if you're going to add the 224 plus 32, it will go the 6, 3 to 5, right? And 256. But what is the range of that? So I cannot go with the 256, right? So this is the last one. And that we have found it, right? 2 to the power 3 is equal to 8 bit. So not 8 bit, 8 value. So 8 network ID we have. Okay, let me add it now. So that's my second one. So this will be the 62 will be the last IP. 63 will be the broadcast IP. Now we have a third one. I don't have a space. Let me do one thing. Hold on. Third one. The third one we have a 96, right? This will give you the what? 1.0.32.96 will be the broadcast network ID. That's my third one. And IP address will be 97. The first one, right? The last IP address will be 197.
This is 64, right? Third one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. 64. That's my third one. 65 will be my first user IP address. Then we have a 94 will be my last IP address for this subnet, and 95 will be my broadcast. That's my third one. Fourth one will be 96, 97. Then we have a 126, 127. That's my fourth network ID. Right? Now we have a fifth one. Right? First IP address, this should be the 128. This should be the 129. This should be what? It should be the 158, 159. That's good. That's our fifth one. Then we have a sixth one. One 161. This should be 190. This should be the 190. That's my sixth one. Okay. And then seventh one. This should be the what 192. Sorry, 192. This should be the 193. This guy should be the 222. This should be the 223. Right? And then let me have a different color for this guy. And then last 81. Its network ID 81. First IP address will be, this will be the 2024. That's my broadcast, sorry, network ID. 2025 will be last IP, sorry, first IP. Then 2253 will be the last IP, not last, 254 will be last IP, 225 will be broadcast. And that's how my domain right now. Let me add a different color. And here we go. Okay, so the block size, let me take a yellow color. The first block, second block, third block, fourth block, fifth, sixth, 7, 8. Sorry, the spelling of 8 is mistake. Okay, so the 8 one, you know the spelling. So normally, if you see that, right, this broadcast domain, right, this big broadcast domain is now divided into the small one. Previously, what happened? Understand the basic concept of the subnetting. Previously, we had a usable IP address, I'm telling you right now, 192.168.1.0 was my network ID, right? 192.168.1.1, that's my first IP address. To the last IP address will be 192.168.1.254. That's my host usable IP address, right? That you can allocate to the any router, any PC, any printer, whatever you want. Last one, 192.168.1.255. That's my broadcast ID. So we have a something like this way. In this one, we have divided into the small section. Now we have a different 8 network ID we have. What was the requirement? If you guys remember that, my requirement was a 20 host, right? I'm able to give the 20 host in the first network ID. Can you see that we have a 30 IP address from here to here? The first IP and last IP, 30 IP address we have. So even if I give the 20 host, right, in this network, still I have left with the 10. Still I have left with the 10. It means that in future, if you need, you can use the 10 IP addresses. In case in future, if you need, you can use the 10 IP addresses. For the future reference, you can save it. Maybe in the future, you may requirement of the printer, right? You may requirement of the some router, you may requirement of some PC, right? You can allocate, or maybe some in some network, there is something called as a guest user, right? So yeah, you can allocate to the guest user as well. So that's a part, this is called as a what? FLSM, fixed length. Can you see that everyone has a fixed length? Same has a fixed length, fixed length, fixed length. Everyone has a 30 IP. That's called as a fixed length. So now even if you wanna take example, let me open my Cisco packet tracer. Right. So within the subnet, for example, if I'm gonna give the 1.1 IP address to the 1.30 last IP address, we can able to communicate. Okay, so let's take example. I have a PC1, PC1, PC2, right? And I will just take the automatic cable. The cable that we are going to use between the same devices, that's called as a crossover cable. Let me define the IP addresses to this guy. I see the 191.1.1. It's what, 224. That's a subnet mask, right? And the last IP I'm going to define for this guy, it's a 192.168.1.30 and 224. And now if I'm going to send the traffic, right? Let me write on the IP addresses. So this guy's IP address is 1.1/27, and this guy's a 1.30/27. I can send the traffic. There is no issue in the traffic. Ping. So I'm pinging right now. I'm sitting on the PC number 2, and I'm sending the traffic to this guy. So you are sitting on this person right now. This is the ping 191.1.1. I do have utility. Right. But if I take here, because right now we are part of the same subnet, right? But if I'm going to allocate the IP address from a different subnet, maybe I can allocate the IP address from the 33, right? And now if I'm going to send the traffic, I could not, because now 33. So I took the first IP of this user, and I took the one IP address from this user. My bad. It should be the 33, right? So no communication is happening. So between the different subnet, you can see that there's no communications there. Guys, please feel free to ask me any questions if you have any doubts.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yeah.
I asked you before discussing. I have seen people doing on the internet, like for example, I put in the address 10.1.1.0 for example, and they are putting subnet mask of 255, 255, 255, 255.0. Well, how is that possible? Because this is the class A private address, right?
Yes, sir.
10.1.
This is the class A IP addresses, but in this one, they also did the subnetting. That's why you are seeing this one. So right now, understand this concept. So what was the default subnet mask of this network ID? 192.168.1.0/24, right? Subnet mask was 255.255.255.0. Now, after the subnetting, what happened? After the subnetting, it's a 1.0/27, which is the subnet mask is 255.255.255.224. Same case, in your case, what you told me, that 10.1.1.0, which is subnet mask 255.255.255.255.0, right? But default is what? 10.0.0.0.0, right? That's /8, 255.0.0.0. So this is the default one, right? But someone did the subnetting, that's why you got this value. Same thing, this is the default one. Someone did the subnetting, that's why we got this value. So after the subnetting, you are getting this value.
Okay.
Now you understand. So you will see that. Don't worry. When we do the class A, you will see that. You understood?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
Most welcome. Anyone else?
I have a question actually.
Yeah, yes.
For example, in the first network ID is there, right? I initially I plan to put 30 hosts. Okay. Later, unfortunately, we need to add additional 5 hosts. How can I expand this network? Instead of adding the second network or any routing, I need to expand this.
See, that's the VLSM comes in the picture. That's called a variable.
Okay.
So you will understand these things in the variable. But again, now it's a good question. But let me tell you. So when the designing comes in the picture, yesterday I told you about the IP addressing is the basic part. IP addressing is the step number 1 of the designing. So when you're designing, you need to have, right, how many IP addresses requirement we have right now. You need to know, first of all, how many hosts we have, how many routers we have, how many IP address requirement we have, how many network ID requirement we have. These are the basic things that you have. So, but again, in future, if you need that, then you need to do the VLSM. But again, if you do the VLSM, it might impact in your other network too, right? So recommendation is not there, but solution is there. Because if you're gonna take the IP address from the different subnet, right? So you will have some policy issues. So in a real world, in a production, right, whenever the network is going on, you cannot take that one. But it's not like it's not impossible. It's a possible if you want, but it is not recommendation to do that. You have to have a first requirement. How much IP address I needed, and based on that, you're gonna do the subnetting. Understood?
Sir, can I go for supernetting?
Supernetting, what do you mean supernetting? What is supernetting?
So supernetting is adding the IP address. Sorry.
हाँ बताओ. Go ahead.
सर supernetting तुमने सुना था?
सुना था ना? Do one thing, guys. Okay.
किसको?
Okay. We speak in English. What I'm saying that supernetting, you have heard that, right? Find the meaning of supernetting. Okay. What I want from you guys, just be with me for the next 3 months. Okay. I'm telling you, you will be the expert in the networking. Whatever the terms you are using right now, supernetting, these things, right? Question. Wait for some time. I'm not done. We just finished the 1 week of the class, right? We have still 3 months is there. So wait for the something. You will also understand the supernetting terminology. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So this is the how you can find the network. So I hope everyone understand this concept. The class C, same thing you can do with the class B as well as. So for example, you have a network. So I'm taking the network is like, private range. You can take the public range as well as. So 1.16, right? That's a class B. Requirement, you can make it, it's up to you. So I'll just make it, the requirement is a what? Maybe 512 host. That's my requirement we have. Right? So first step number 1, what? Write down the details. Network. So we had also some class information. So we have something called 172, right? So what is the binding of this guy? Let me copy and paste it from here, right? Okay. Now, so write on the details of this guy, 172. So if you find the binding of the 172, what you will get at? So 120, 128, right? I cannot add the 64. So let's leave it the 64 right now. So I'm finding the binding of the 172 right now. So 128, I took that. Then you cannot go with the 64. I can take the
32.
Right? So 172 plus 32, how much? So 224, 3, 7, 10, and 1. Sorry.
You need to add 128.
128. So it will comes to the 160, right? So I have to go with the 101. Then can I go with the 16? Again, no, I cannot go with the 16, right? I can go with the 8 now, because if you're going to add the 160 plus 8, it comes to 168. Then you have to go with the 4. That's comes to the 172. So the binding of this guy will be what? 10101100. So this value is a 128. This value is a 32. This value is a 8. This value is a 4. So if you're going to add it, you will get the 172. So that's a binary of the 172. So let's write on 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 0. What is the binary of 16? The binary of 16 is very easy, right? So if you're going to find the binary of 16, you will see that. So the first value is a 128. That should be the 0, right? Second, 64. That also should be the 0. Third is a 32. Also should be 0. Fourth is a 16. And remaining will be 0. So 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0. The binary of 0 0 0 0 0 0 5 6 7 8, and then 3 4 5 6 7 8. What is the binary of the 255? This one, right? 3 5 6 7 8 4 5 6 7 8. Then 0 0 0 0 0 0 0, and then 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. That's a step number 1 that we have did, right? So let me write on. This is the binary of 172.16.0.0. This is the binary of subnet mask information. If you write down CIDR value, so what you will get that? Classless interdomain routing, a concise way to represent the subnet mask information, nothing else. 16. Step number 2. What was the step number 2? Find the host, right? So let me copy from here. That's my formula, right? To our end. So if you see, I have a requirement of what? 5112 host. How many bit? 9 bit, right? So what's up?
10, sir.
Sorry?
10 या 9, sir. We can write, sir.
Tell me, how many bits bit we have requirement? I have requirement of 5112 host.
I think 2 to the power 10,
9
sir.
or 10?
10.
Yeah, I am confused, sir. 9 या 10, I am confused, sir.
2/9.
Press
2/9.
2 is taken as a network ID in broadcast.
So guys,
Sir,
we
if
have a
we can-
requirement of the host is what? 5112. It means that we have a user is a 5112, right? If you guys remember that, what is the requirement of the host? 2n minus 1.
2 into 10, sir.
2 will be the broadcast ID,
2
and
to the power 10.
so 1 will be the broadcast, 1 will be the network ID. So we need to go with the 10 bit.
Yes, sir. I am confused. 9 या 10, sir.
So now
Okay, clear, sir.
we have a 2 to the power 10 is equal to minus 2 is equal to 1024 minus what? 2 is equal to 1022. That's a
1022.
host. 1 will be network ID, 1 will be broadcast ID. That's great. That's a step number 2. What was the step number 3? Just copy it and paste it. Oh. Let me write on, because we need to write on this thing. Step number 3. Leave the 10 bits and convert remaining bit into networks. So what is the subnet mask we have? 1 1 1 1 1 5 6 7 8 4 3 to 5 6 7 8, then 3 to 5 6 7 8, then 3 6 7 8. Now this is the older one, old subnet mask. New one will be what? How many bits we need to change it now? So let's first make it default this guy. Let me write on this way. Then you will understand. We have a requirement of 10 bit, right? We took the 10 bit as a host. Where is that? We took the 10 bit as a host one. So let's take it to 10. 8 is there, right? So let's leave it like this way. This portion. We need to convert from here now.
So always right to left, right?
Sorry, right to left. So now we have done. So this is the new subnet mask information. 255.255.0.0. And this is the new subnet mask will be 255.255. What is the value of this guy? Tell me. 128, 64,
248, sir.
32, 16, 8, 4. Now tell me.
252.
252. So either you can also do like this way. The value of this guy is a 1. And let me take another color. Sorry. The value of this guy will be 1. The value of this guy is 2, right? So 3 is there, right? So you can minus the 255 minus 3 is equal to 252 also.
Okay, sir.
Now 252, right?
2.
Dot 0. That's the new subnet mask information. CIDR value.
/30, I think, sir.
30. 30 hoga.
22.
22, right? So you have
Okay.
8 bits is over there.
Sorry,
bits
sir.
over there.
Sorry, sir.
And over here is a 6 bit, right? So 8, 16 plus 6 is equal to 22. What is the step now 4 now we have? Find the magic number, right? Copy the paste right on the blocks. Those things really can. Step number 4. Find the magic number increment. So what will be the magic number? What will be the magic number now? So this guy will be, this guy. What will be the magic number?
4.
4 will be the magic number. This guy will be the, because from the right side, this is the last digit, which is on. 1 means on, or we can say the network bit. 0 means off, which is the host bit. So 1 is the network bit is on from the right side. So the magic number will be 4 is increment number and magic number 2 or magic number. That's good, right? And the network portion, the formula is 2 to the power n, right? How many network you will get from here? 2 to the power 6, right? Is equal to how much?
64. 64.
Pakka? Pakka 64 na?
Yes.
Yes, sir. 2 to the power 6 value is 64, sir.
Write down the blocks now. What was the first subnet was? 172.16.0.0/16, or we can call as a 255.0.0. This was the old one, or we can call as a big network. Right? And let me add it as a big. Now, what was the first subnet we have now? So the first subnet, but I'm not able to type it. Wait. We have 172.16.0.0/22, right? 172.16.0.1 will be first IP address. Last will be what? Date. So 172.16.3.254 will be last. And 172.16.3 will be broadcast. Second subnet.
Oh, 4.0.
Right. Second subnet 4.0. And the first IP will be 4.1. 7.254, 8.7.255. That will be the second one. So now open my Cisco packet tracer and try it. So 172.16. What? 0.1. 255.255.220. 252.0, right? So I give this IP address is 172.16.0.1/22. I'll give this guy, say 172.16.3.254, the last IP address. You got the output right? Reply. Done. Now what happens if I want to allocate this guy as a different one? So maybe example, I'm going to allocate this guy as a 4.1. Right? So if I'm going to allocate the 4.1, this guy, 4.1. And now if I'm going to send the traffic, I could not. What's up there? What's up there? All good, guys. Guys, questions. I cannot write the 64 blocks. Let me tell you. Okay, it's not possible to write it. It will take the 3 to 4 hours. Okay, but understand the concept. What will be the last subnet? Let's talk about the last subnet. What is the last subnet? Tell me. Help me with the last subnet.
64.0 is
Kita? How much? 172.16.
253.
No, 64. How is 64?
sorry,
253.
Pakka?
172 dot
252.
252. Great.
0.
Not 1.
Dot 0.
Uh,
Right? /22. That's my
22.
last subnet. First IP address.
255.254.
254. That's great one. That's a last IP address. And 172.16.255.255. That's my broadcast.
Broadcast ID.
Let's allocate it now. So let's use this one, last one. So I'm gonna assign this guy as IP address will be what? As a 172.16.252.0, not 0, sorry, of course 1, right? And then subnet mask will be same. Okay, let me take a small size, and this guy will be okay. And let's move on. 172.16.255.254, and here we go. I see the ping. All good, right? So from here, we are able to send the traffic to this guy. Same subnet. All good, guys? Questions? Feroz, Vijaya, Sakil, Anil, Anis, Arjuna, Bijor, Dennis, Huawei, Herbeto, Huawei, Ismail, guys, Mirja, Naisa, PC Trans, guys, put your name, Saurabh.
No question.
Okay?
Clear.
Great.
Yes, sir. No question, sir.
Clear, sir, clear.
Great. Now, yesterday someone had asked the question in the group, right? That's a 10.0 subnet. Remember, someone had asked the question in the group.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the purpose of the broadcast today? Dennis, the purpose of the broadcast is great question. So have you watched the video of yesterday class, Dennis?
Yes.
Okay, you have watched, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll explain it. So take example. This is the PC, guys. Please bear with me. I just need to explain the broadcast address. So we have this one, right? They all are connected with the switch one right now. So take example. This is the subnet that I'm using 192.168.1.0/24, where you have a 192.168.1.0 will be network ID. One dot one to the 1.254 will be, let me add on the complete. 1.254 will be host IP address. And the 192.168 will be 1.255 will be broadcast. So assume that the PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4, PC5. I have allocated the IP address for this guys of 192.168.1.1. Okay, right? All they have is /24. 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 Okay. Now, Dennis, can you hear me? It's a Dennis, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Understand. So take example, if I want to send a traffic from the PC1 to the PC2, right? I need to put the command ping applies to the 192.168.1.2. That's my unicast traffic. Understood? That's my pure unicast traffic. So I can only send the packet to this person, right? Take example, I have to send the traffic to the everybody. Take example, I want to send the traffic to the everybody in a single shot. Listen to my words carefully. I want to send the traffic from this user. I want to send the traffic to the everyone in a single shot. Whoever present are the same broadcast domain. So can I use the 1.2, then I say the ping 1.3 like that way? Can I do like this way?
Take too long.
I cannot do that, right? Because in this case, what happened? I say that single shot. In this, there is no single shot because 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4 shot. We need to put the 4 times command, right? So instead of doing the 4 times command, what I can do that I just say the ping 192.168. 1.255, which is the broadcast IP, right? So when I say the 1.255 in the single shot, what happened? I can send the traffic to the everybody. Now you understand what is the use of broadcast IP?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Anyone has a questions?
No,
No.
sir.
Great. So as I mentioned that you are not going to allocate the broadcast IP to the any user. It is reserved for the every person. It is reserved for the everyone. Okay. So yesterday there was a question in the group chat. Open my WhatsApp group. What was the question? Okay. The question was. Okay. So there's a question from the blue, right? One question: if you use the same FSM formula class A subnet at will I will the same legal? Yes. So let's do that. Okay. 1 minute. So this is the 10.0.0. Okay, /8. That's the subnet mask will be this one, right? I need to copy the again formula. That's I need to copy it from here. You can do one. I can put it over there. So my subnet is 10.0.0 /8. We can call as a. Someone has the question. If by class A, I took a 20 host, right? Example. Requirement of what? 20 host. So you can go with any host, that doesn't make a big deal, right? You can go with the 1000, you can go with the 10,000, right? But I'm just using the 20 host right now. And write down the details. That's my first step, right? Of network. So simple 10.0.0.0. If you're gonna write down the boundary for the 10, it should be 0, 0, 128, 64, 0, 32 will be 0, 16 will be 0, 8 will be 1, 4 will be 0, 2 will be 1, 0. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm so sorry. I said the 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 6, 7, 8. I'm done, right? So that's a binary of what? Okay, binary of the 255. 3, 2, 6, 7, 8. Then let me copy and paste it. Okay, that's the binary of the 255.0.0.0.0. We can call as a CIDR value for this guy will be what? /8. Classless interdomain routing. That's a full form of the CIDR. Now, step number 2, what was that? Find the host, copy and paste. Okay. That's going to save the time, right? Step down to find the host, right? So if you see the host, 2 to n minus 2, right? So 20 host, it comes in the 5-bit. 20 host comes in the 5-bit, right? So 2 to the 5 minus 2 is equal to 32 minus 2 is equal to 30 host we have, and 2, 4 network and broadcast ID. Step number 3. Let's me write it again. Step number 3. Write down the bits. Leave the how many bits? 5 bits, and convert remaining bits into network. Buja, just pay attention. You will get the answer that you have asked, right? Pay attention. So leave the 5 bits and convert the remaining network bit, right? So what was the default behavior? I had a default behavior is like this way, right? 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 5, 6, 7, 8, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 3 to 5, 6, 7, 8, right? That's my 255.0.0 old subnet mask. New one. So how many bits? 5 bits we need to left in the host, right? So let's leave the 5 bits as it is. 3 to 5, and remaining all will be converted now in the ones. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 to 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Subnet mask will be, because all these are the ones now. So let me tell you whatever the changes we have. These are the changes bit. I'll put the different color. These are the changes bit. This is the default behavior. Can you guys pay attention over there? This is the default behavior that I write it over there. But these are the changes bit, because I just in a 24 bits we had now. That's a host bit in a class A. Guys, pay attention. In the class A, we have a 24 bit is a host bit, right? That's a default behavior. 24 is a host bit. Remember, like this way we have right now 1111 3 5 6 7 8 0 0 0 4 5 6 7 8 0 0 0 0 0 4 5 6 7 8 4 5 6 7 8. So 8 is a network bit, and all the 8 is a host bit we have. That's a default behavior. Okay. Now what I did, I had a requirement of the 20 host. The 20 host comes in the 5 bits. So I just took the 5 bits in a host, leave it right now as it is, and convert all the remaining host bit into the network portion. So I just converted it. So the subnet mask for this guy will be what now? 255 dot what?
224.
New subnet mask.
Yes, sir. 2 to 4, sir.
What's the CIDR value for this guy now?
Slash
27.
20.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir.
27.
27.
Now step number 4, 5, 6. Let's copy it again.
Is this a huge waste of IP addresses?
A class A is the huge range, man.
Yeah.
Class A is a huge range. 24 bit as a host bit. Can you imagine that? If you just Google it, let me show you that.
Is there any reason that people do that, or
what do you mean? I didn't get the question.
For example,
Go ahead.
for what reason they would divide, they would subnet?
You remember yesterday I told you the security purpose. We cannot we cannot do the wasting of the IP addresses. That's why we are doing the subnetting.
Okay. Yeah.
Understood? Because if I'm going to take example 10.0.0.0.0, right, slash 8, this is a one subnet, right? And there's a one company that has a requirement of the 500 host.
Yes.
So we can allocate the 500 host, but how many still you have over there? Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's a wastage. So we need to remove the wastage. We need to, this is the big room. I need to convert into a small section, right?
Yeah.
That's why we are doing the subnetting. If you're not going to do that, then what happens? It's a wastage of the IP addresses. So take example, you have a very big room and you just sleeping in this small area. It's a wastage of spaces, right?
Yeah.
Same thing is happening. It's a big subnet. And if you just want to use the 500 host, right? The 500 hosts is a very minimal, right, for this class A. So it's a totally wastage of IP address of the class A. So we are doing the submitting for this guy /10.
Yes, sir. So is there a difference in the price if you lease
Yes, sir. It's a different.
/24 over /27?
It's a different in the price.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
So now we have a magic number. We need to find it. Tell me the magic number. So this will be the 128. This will be the 64. This will be the 32. So 32 will be the magic number. Find the network portion. How many networks we have? How many converted we have? This is the conversion one, right? How come it's straight, right? So from this side, if you take, so this is the last one, right? From the right side. Understood, Nasir? The value of this guy is a 128, right? The value of this guy is a 64. The value of this guy is a 32. Right. So the 32 is my increment number. Find the network portion. That's a very interesting one. So to do or how much now you will get that. So 8, 16 plus 3, 19. So to do or 19. I have to use the calculator. Five. Almost 5,24,288 network we have. So just Buzzer has asked the question, right? So 10.0.0.0/8 was the one subnet, one broadcast domain. What I did now, we did the subnetting and how many I have divided. So now we have created of 5,24,288 broadcast domain. So from the one broadcast domain, I have created this range of the broadcast domain. So previously this was assigned to the one company. Now we can assign to this range of company. Now you understood, Buzzer?
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you.
So last is the magic number. Yes, last is the magic number from the right hand side. So, okay, let me write down. All good. Write on the blocks. Okay. So 10.0.0 32, right? Zero is the first /27, first network ID. 10.0.0.1 will be first IP address of host. 10.0.0.31 will be, not 30 will be the last one. Broadcast. The next subnet we have what? 10.0.0.32, right? Go with the 60, 32, 0, 21, 32, 64, 63, 62. 63 will be broadcast. Go in the Cisco packet tracer with the PC1 IP with the 10.0.0.0.1 to what we have to divide /27, right? 224. This guy should be 10.0.0.30. 224. So now the thing is, so we have a, let me take a different color. Sorry, small size. What we call 10.0.0.32. 30 is my last. Yeah. Working right. So we are able to ping the same subnet. Let's define the different subnet now. I'm going to define as a 33. It's not going to work. Hey, that's how you can define it. So now the subnet mask is, can you see that? Subnet mask is what? So previously we have this /8 is like that. We have a subnet mask. Now we have a example 127. The subnet mask is this one. This is the old one. This is the new one. Guys, feel free to ask me any questions.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yes.
If you have a, for example, if a company has two sites,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
headquarters and a branch, do I need two separate public IP addresses, or I can use just one?
Can you park this question for the 2 days more classes if it's possible? One day tomorrow, for the tomorrow only. Is it possible?
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
You will understand, because tomorrow I'm going to discuss some practical work, because from tomorrow onwards we are going to start the practical things. That's why I'm telling you.
All right. So, thank you.
Most of them. Because I can explain you right now, but I need to introduce the router over there, right? So tomorrow I will see that this thing.
Okay, I understand. I understand.
No issue. So guys, here I'm done with the submitting. That's what we call FLSM, fixed length. VLSM, we are not going to do that right now. The reason I'll tell you, because we don't have a requirement. So the requirement, whatever we have, we just did the basic part. Now we can jump to the lab part, right? Okay, so we'll do the VLSM. It's not like we are not going to do the VLSM. So any of the day we'll do the VLSM. That's not a big deal. We can finish in the one day. Okay, so let's do the lab from tomorrow onwards. Or tomorrow, I'm gonna show you the how to configure the IP addresses on the router, right? How to use the labs, and then we'll start the switching part. And after the switching, we're gonna discuss the VLANs, how the MAC address is learning, spanning tree protocol, many more things, and then we'll jump to the routing. Then after that. But tomorrow you will understand how to configure the IP address. Tomorrow I will give you some magic tricks as well, which you cannot find in the normal books, right? Okay. So normally what I told you that you cannot allocate the broadcast IP address and network ID. I have just told you that, right? Even yesterday I told you that you cannot allocate it, but I'll show you how to allocate this IP, because from the ISP perspective, if you think, right, for the ISP, every single IP has some money, right? So ISP does not want to waste even the network ID and not even the broadcast IP address. So you can allocate the network ID and broadcast ID as well, right? I'll show you how. Don't worry about that. Okay, and in which situation as well. Okay.
I have another question.
Please.
If you ping a broadcast ID, does that mean that you ping every PC on the network?
Yeah, that's a mean that you are pinging to the every PC in the network.
So you can run from command line ping command and ping broadcast ID, right?
Right. You just need to put the ping command. I just explained you that, right? If you guys remember somewhere, Daniel, I have explained, right? I have said that ping. I said for example, 192.168.1.255. So if I'm going to pick the 255, so whoever the IP belongs to this broadcast domain, can receive the traffic. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, user. All good, guys. So I hope everyone is clear. But still, if you have any question, feel free to ask me anything. It's not about the tutorial class. Anything if you have, you can ask me the question. So 2 questions I got it at. One is from the user, right? So the to submit that we are going to discuss tomorrow, because if I'm not discuss right now, we need to introduce a new device over there again, right? So we'll discuss tomorrow. That's not a big deal. Second, someone has also asked the one question. I don't know who. Okay.
Yeah, it's me for expanding the network.
Yeah, expanding the network, right? That's also in
Yeah.
the VLSM, right? Don't worry about that.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Great. All good, guys. Anyone? Questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Thanks, buddy.
If doubt, we'll.
Feel free to ask me, buddy, anytime, okay?
Okay, sir.
Chalo,
Okay, sir.
so 2 things, guys, I'm gonna do that in the drive folder, right? I'm gonna create a new folder over there, and the folder name is what? It's called as a what we call documents, right? So in the documents, you will find the 2 things. One, you will find the paint file, okay? That the paint file that you are using, you can convert into the PDF format if you want. It's up to you, right? So one is the paint file, and the second thing you will find the notepad. So notepad right now you will not find, because we are not doing the lab. So in the notepad, you will see the configuration, the command line, the command you will find it. So from the tomorrow onwards, you will get the notepad on the drive and paint file as well. Okay.
The driver name is what, sir? Document.
Same drive. The drive, the folder name is docs.
Okay. Folder name is same, but the document is different, sir.
एक मिनट भाई मैं बताता हूँ, let me pause it.